Friends, thank you very much. In the first session, the principal of the college and many of the other administrators might be thinking like, what is the need of the library? What the librarians have been doing? Are we simply buying the books, processing them, putting class number or call number and making them to use for the users? So I think with the help of most of the screenshot, I would like to share with you like what the libraries have been doing, what the librarians have been doing, or how we can contribute in a better way to the society. In fact, Salis is doing great work. You are doing service with dedication, and that is what we have seen during award ceremony. And in the end, I will be concluding like, is there any need of libraries or librarians in this changing scenario? So I think I have already given my message at the inaugural session. But let's discuss it in a more elaborative way. So, before I begin, I would again like to thank Dr. Hariharan and Dr. Ella and all the SALIS and KSRC team for inviting me for this invited talk and also for the inaugural, because it's far from Delhi. Sometimes we have to think a lot before coming to this place. But I always love exploring new places, new people, and of course I'm foodie as well. So I used to explore the pure food as well, which is not adulterated here. So the taste of the food or tea or anything is really great, and I enjoyed a lot that. So I would like to start with this quote from the ex-American Library Association president. Should I use that mic or this is okay? Okay. So I would like to start with this quote from the ex-American Library Association president, that the libraries kept Americans connected in ways that brought our communities closer. Buildings may not have been open, but libraries were never closed. What I'm trying to say with this message is that even there was pandemic, even there could be difficult time because of any reason, but libraries or librarians continue to provide services to the society during difficult time as well. That is why the then sitting AICT chief Professor Anil Sachdev declared the librarians as the Corona warrior, because we have been delivering the services in an outstanding way. So, as part of this agenda item, some of the things which I am going to cover are like transformation of libraries and challenges of the digital age for librarians, emerging and innovative library resources, services and products, what are the different new roles of the librarians nowadays, and I think marketing is also important. Sometimes you might be doing some great work in your institution or in your library, but your authority may not be aware. So I think you have to find out the way, like how to convey that what great work you are doing. You are not simply doing a traditional thing only. Apart from that, you are doing something innovative as well. And how this digital transformation of library services is taking place. So I would like to cover some of these things with the help of screenshots so that you can easily understand. Of course, you cannot digest all my content 130 slides in half an hour, but you can explore whenever you are free. I just want to give you some idea. And I can challenge, like if you are going to appear in an interview for any position of the library, and if you are able to explore all my content, at least 75% of the question may be answered with the help of this presentation. Because almost every week at least I am taking couple of interviews as well. So the head of the institution, whether it is principal, director or the vice chancellor, they may not be technically aware about the library concept, but they may be asking like what is H-index, how you can contribute to our ranking, or what the libraries have been doing nowadays when everything is digital. So I think you can focus on some of my slides and then you can explore as per your convenience when you are back at home. So this slide shows the digital disruption of the disruptive technologies. The concept was given by Christensen, and what it says is like during pandemic as well, my son is now in class 11, and when you are attending the online classes or even my presentation, some of the backbenchers, they might be using the WhatsApp, Facebook, or seeing their mail, or maybe doing some other social networking thing. So these technologies which you are seeing on screen are really good, but if you are not making fruitful use of these technologies, these becomes the disruptive technologies. So these should not be treated as competing technologies. These should be treated as supporting technologies. So when we are going through the presentation, some of the thoughts which comes to our mind are like libraries are changing, the user needs are changing. Therefore, the role of the libraries and librarians is also changing. Why libraries or user needs or like scenario is changing? Because we are in a knowledge society or in a digital age, we need to see as how libraries and user needs are changing as per the requirements of the users. So this is the slide which shows that there is a transition from custodian role to information analyst role, then to knowledge workers role. And I have given the link as well. This is not my statement, but it is believed that due to enormous penetration of technology, many professions are going through the sea change. Library profession is not an exception. Currently, it is believed that this profession carries about 80% technology component and 20% traditional librarianship. And I have given the source as well. Please don't quote me that I have given this data. So there is lot of involvement of technology even in our profession. So we have to plan our activities of the library accordingly. So there are many challenges of the digital age for the libraries and libraries. Some of the challenges are like digital mindset of the user. Users are looking everything in digital format. During pandemic and in nowadays as well, users are calling us or sending us email. Can you please take photograph of this chapter of the book and send me as WhatsApp message? So this is the mindset of the user. So that is why the number of footfall is sometimes decreasing in the library. Then the computer or Google Baba or you can say the IT people are trying to replace the role of reference librarian. Then there is a transition from print to digital. People are looking for all the content in digital format, including multimedia format. Then there are smart value-added services which sometimes we are finding it difficult to understand, which involve use of AI or AR or virtual reality or blockchain or IoT as well. Then there are ranking and accreditation challenges. Most of the librarians who are working in government institutions, they are always burdened with the ranking RA or the team is coming from UGC. So I think you need to understand the dynamics of how to play with that number game of the accreditation. So it is with the playing of number game, presenting your data. So now the services are moving to cloud-based services instead of maintaining the standalone server. Then we have to see the metadata repository to full text. People are trying to provide different full text content through their repositories. Then there are reference librarians using chatbot or intelligent search agent. Like when you are using these e-commerce app, okay, Amazon, Flipkart. So instead of person answering your question, now chatbots are answering your question. So why can't the librarians also provide same type of services using all the use of like Alexa or Siri type of application? Then we need different skill set for providing transformed library services. There are financial constraints as well because many of the government institutions are not getting proper funding. And this change is taking place in different format. So as a librarian, either you have to change yourself, otherwise you are not going to survive. If you are a smart librarian, you can survive. Otherwise, there is a difficult time ahead for you. So if you want to become a smart librarian, if you want to become an important person in your college or institution, I think you have to understand what are the different emerging and innovative library services, product or trends. Like you have to understand what will be the use of Web 2.0 or Web 3.0 based technology, whether these are use of like RSS feed or instant messaging. So I believe this is just a list. We cannot cover in half an hour everything. But of course, I used to take tutorial for half day to cover such presentations. So I think some of the services I will be showing with the help of screenshots. So if you want to become a transformed or a good librarian or a librarian which attracts the attention of the authority or which want to become very important among the research scholars, I think you need to understand some of these products. You may not be having access to Scopus or Web of Science, but of course you may have access to IRNS, which is free for you. It's a project from the Ministry of Education with implemented with Kannan. And you need to understand different dynamics, whether these are ultimately stored or how the ranking takes place or how different type of indices are calculated. You may be familiar with H index, but you may not be familiar with ITAT index or E index or what is FWCI, field weighted citation. So I think as a smart librarian, you should have some knowledge of about these things. If somebody is asking you like how an H index is calculated, so you should be able to answer how it is calculated, not simply that it is automatically calculated by Scopus or Web of Science, etc. So I think in private sector there is a change in designations as well, but in government sector we cannot change the designations of the librarian because of parity or scale issues. But our duties, our role is changing. We are performing different type of roles, like in Accenture or GE or some other bigger companies, TCS, etc. They have changed the name as well. But you are performing different type of duties. So whether your designation is changed or not, but you have to innovate yourself to perform different type of duty. We are maintaining all our library services on Badal Cloud. So there could be a person who is looking after the cloud computing, may be known as cloud librarian. Although officially his name will not be in the list as cloud librarian, but actually he is a cloud librarian. A person who is providing specialized services in biotechnology library may be known as subject specialist. So I think you need to understand that the role or the services are changing and we have to adapt to those changes. So it is not only the H index or citation. Now people are also seeing the different other type of impacts. Even if you have posted something on your blog, if people are seeing that, downloading it, making comment, visiting your pages, that is also counted. That is known as your automatic score. So if you are writing something good on Facebook wall or Twitter, and that is being referred or used by different people, that is also important. So I think as a librarian, we need to understand the different other type of impact, whether it is author level impact, which is calculated on the basis of HG or I10 or other type of indices, or there could be a journal level impact, which we understand through JCR or some other things. Then there could be article level impact, which we are seeing on the basis of citations, or as an institutional level impact, which is measured on the basis of the ranking of your institution or NAC accreditation. So I think the role of librarian as a ETD program, in the ETD program is also becoming, because most of the institutions which are offering the PhD degree are also maintaining the thesis repository. So I think as a librarian, your role here is also important as a ETD life cycle manager, or help the people to understand the similarity report, or help them how to follow the submission cycle of the thesis. So when somebody is coming to us for searching anything, we are generally searching the Google. Do you know that Google, the result that Google gives to you is coming from almost 20% resources only. 80% of the content are not discoverable by Google, because these are commercial companies. Okay, so this girl said, just give me the answer and make sure it's right. I don't want to search, just want to find. So if you are searching something, the search may give you 1 lakh result or 1 crore result, but the result that you are looking for may be on screen number 10. And I don't think you have passion to change those screens. You are seeing screen 1, 2 or maximum 3. So I think here the answer, I think to the administrator, is it is the librarian who understand how to get a better or relevant result. Like if you are looking for a book, I think there are tools like WorldCat or IndCat or like a Delnet type of services, or your Discovery or Federated Search, which can give you the better answer. And like if you are not able to afford the paid discovery services, like IT Delhi is continuously using one or another paid service. Earlier we were using EDS, now we are using Summon. So you can also explore free services. Like there is solution to everything. If you really want to do something in your institution, there is solution to everything. So you can explore a free discovery tool like Viewfind. Also, like if the institutions are maintaining e-resources management complete life cycle, you can explore a open source tool like ERM. Like we are also using ERM, Coral. So if you are not getting the proper result using Google, you can explore other general search engines. And if you are looking for more depth level information, the results are not coming from the Google, I think you can explore Meta or Semantic search engine. And if you are looking for a scholarly information only, so instead of searching information through Google or other general search engines, you can explore scholarly search engines, as you can see from the slide base or Google Scholar or something like that. And if you are looking information on a particular subject, for example library information science or maybe on humanities, so instead of searching through Google, you can explore subject gateways. This is a subject gateway from InflipNet known as Infoport. Then there are some international gateways which are also free like this, okay, Demos. Then there are subject specific gateways as well. For example, this is a gateway only for library information science. So if someone is looking for information on chemistry, that information should be searched on chemistry subject gateway only. So I think as a library professional, you should be able to understand, if you are working in a higher education institution, you should be able to understand what are the different dynamics of ranking agencies. It is basically playing with the data. If you are able to present your college data in a proper manner, you can get a better ranking. When I was the university librarian of Aligarh Muslim University, then I saw that the ranking of the AMU was little bit down. The number of publications shown in the AMU's account were less. Then we tried to find out what is the reason. Then we could identify that the medical college of the AMU, which was Jawaharlal Nehru Medical College, or the engineering college, which was Dr. Zakir Hussain College of Engineering and Technology, the faculty were not putting their affiliation with AMU. They were identified as separate publications. So when we requested merging of all these publications, then the AMU's ranking immediately improved, with better citation, with better number of publications. So in the same way, there could be many Rajkumar Sharmas. Oh, okay. So the paper written by any Sharma may be going to the account of someone else's account. So I think as a librarian, you are the person, if you are able to help your institution in these aspects, I think your value in the eyes of administration will suddenly increase, and they will give you funds, and your scale, everything will be released. But you have to work a little bit harder. So there are various research information management systems which are becoming popular, and this is the new field. So as a library professional, you should try to understand that there are various paid or free for you research information system. So if you are not able to subscribe to Pure or Converse or Scivell, of course, you have an option of going with IRNS. You had a tutorial yesterday. IT Delhi is also using very rigorously. So I think these are very good things. Your faculty data, everything will be pulled together, and you will be shown as an institution with all the citation and H-index, all those things. And I think in IT Delhi as well, our students are gifted one, but their English is also not good. So even if we don't know good English, there are English correcting software we are also using. There is no like harm in accepting it. Like we are using Grammarly, we are using Quillboard, we are using many. So if you cannot write good English, you can explore some free softwares as well, like Ginger or Quillboard for improving the. Even you can bring down the similarity as well. If your paper is having 50% similarity, with the help of these tools, with honesty, you can bring down the similarity level to 10% as well. So I think we should be aware that if our faculty is looking for some information on a particular topic, there are resources which are free as well, which they can explore. And if you are able to understand some preprint or postprint repositories, and if you are able to help your faculty to upload their preprint or postprint in these repositories, the visibility and impact of research of your institution will immediately improve, and it will help in ranking as well. So as a library professional, we should look on these technologies with critical eye. We should not simply accept any technology which is available in the market. We have to decide which is good for us. Which is good for me may not necessarily be good for you. Okay. So I think there are digital signages which the libraries are using now for the publicity. All the frequently asked questions of the library are generally posted on library website, and like instead of simply typing the address of library, library.itd.ac.in, you can always create QR codes and people can scan with their mobiles and they can go to the OPEC or website, because everyone is carrying a smartphone. In the same way, the libraries can provide data and statistical services to help researchers and faculty members, and this will help. And you can help people understand that if you are making fruitful use of social networking, even the clicks or page views or download or blog post or comments are also counted. So these are some of the sites which are dealing with altmetrics, and mostly these are not charging to you, so you can explore these sites. And now the libraries, apart from having simple services, they are also creating the maker spaces. Means instead of just listening to me, you can come to the library and you can learn by doing the things. These are just like workshops, and you can if you have the fund, you can create good labs as well. I think I have visited this college with the librarian and a couple of other people. They have also created some good idea lab or something like that. This is from IIT Delhi, another one is from a foreign institution. So if people are learning by doing the things, the impact will be more. And marketing is very important. Sometimes you are doing great work, others are not aware. अरे ये तो घूमता रहता है, he is going here and there, he is not doing anything. How do you know he is not doing anything? So I think marketing is also important. You should not say that I am doing this and that, but at least people should be familiar that you are doing something good. So there are various ways of marketing, and if you are doing good work marketing as well, then it may result greater use by your end users. You may have better partnership. You can maintain a center position in your institution, and there could be various ways of marketing. It could be through publicity. Okay, publicity like banner, poster, presentation. It could be through direct marketing, personal selling, public relation, or social media as well. So now I would like to share some of the examples. So if you have a good library building, obviously that gives a great impression. The first one is from IIT Delhi, second one Roorkee, third one Madras, fourth one Kanpur, then Guwahati, and then ISM Dhanbad. So libraries are still having great buildings. If any visitor is coming to you, you are showing your library. So I think the library building, if there are funds, should have a good building. These are the screens from different services from IIT Delhi. And to promote and strengthen the library system and our position in the IIT Delhi, I think the respect that we have in IIT Delhi is because of the efforts that we are putting, hard effort. So to strengthen our position in the system, we have developed many services we are the National Resource Center in Library Information Science for offering the MOOCs. It has not come on our own. It has come because of our value, the services that we are delivering. Then we have digitally transformed our interactive library website using Drupal. We are mostly using the open source thing. We have integrated library management system using Koha. We have migrated from Libsys to Koha. Bidar FID, we have a library app which we have created in-house. Okay. Then we are also using IRNS. We have given link to all our resources from different sites, whether it is OPEC or website or institutional repository. We have a video library services. Remote login is available through different platform. The Ask the Librarian interface is also available. And we are also making use of RSS feed for providing e-news clipping services. So there could be many services. You can also create a virtual library tour. You can create a small library film. And when there was a pandemic, when it was not possible to host a physical book exhibition, we started hosting the virtual book exhibitions as well. So this is the library website, And the beauty of the Drupal is that it gives you a search interface. It gives you a sorry. So it gives you a general search interface. So whatever is there behind the library website, that can be traced with this. So we have migrated all the services to cloud, that is Badal. Badal is basically a cloud computing by Ministry of Education, and it is freely available for the institution under Ministry of Education. So we need not to maintain server, we need not to maintain cooling, or we need not to maintain any infrastructure. We just need to have internet with good speed. So all our Koha, our institutional repository, our website, our patent server, everything is on. Even our personal virtual machines for backup is also on Badal. So we have given link to different resources from different websites. This is our library app, you can also explore. This is our remote access to e-resources using Infinite Chevrolet. Then these are our self-service RFID system. This is our institutional repository using DSpace. And not only we are using the DSpace for our library resources, whole of the institution service records have also been digitized. We have digitized close to 30 lakh A4 size pages. Your date of birth, your service book, everything has been digitized, and that is hosted on DSpace server. So if you are doing that amount of work in your institution, obviously everyone will be dependent upon you. And nobody can ignore you. Nobody can ignore your financial requirements as well. So apart from displaying the books physically, which are coming new, we are also having this new arrivals virtually, and we used to host virtual and physical book exhibition as per that situation. Then all the contents of our MOOC courses are now available through our website. You can see all the videos. Even if you have not joined our course, you can download our PPTs as well. This is our faculty profiling system using IRNS. So this IRNS has a beauty. If somebody is asking you what is the edge index of chemical engineering department, you will not be able to calculate that using Scopus or Web of Science ready-made. But this has the facility that it can give you the edge index of a department as well. And it gives you a very good, in IIT Delhi, people have started giving only IRNS ID, because it links with your all the other IDs, whether it is Scopus ID, ORCID ID, Researcher ID, or Google Scholar ID. And I think research support services are now more popular in the library. People are coming to you for different type of research support services. So I have created a section in IIT Delhi Library, Research Support Services and Outreach Program, and we are providing different type of services from this section, and we are putting all those things in our repository, which are even you can view that. And as a library professional, I think you should also have some knowledge of citation tool, because people are coming to you to help them convert their citation from one style to another, like from APA to MLA, or from MLA to IEEE or something else. And people are sometimes worried, my similarity is 20%, or my plagiarism report says 30%. So they should not be worried. You should be, as a librarian, you should be able to understand and try to convince them this is just a similarity and how you can bring it down. So there is nothing to worry. So if you are doing all these great things, I think your value will increase in your institution. So this is our online book recommendation system, which we have developed in-house for, this is ERP based. But now I think IIT Delhi was the first library which started its own online book recommendation system using Koha. So we have customized the Koha to the extent that now even the books are recommended and approved by HOD, by librarian, by faculty through this Koha based book recommendation system. So we have developed some patches, and we are using Koha for all these important things, and we are trying to send the messages or mail using Koha only. And we started Koha from April 1. We are not a old institution using Koha. We migrated in March from Lipsys to Koha, and now we have customized to this level. And we are providing e-news clipping services using RSS feed. Then we are uploading different content. Then we have given very good links to our full text and bibliographic databases, and we have prepared a very good A to Z list of journals or archives or like ebooks Or we have a very good video library services. The people who cannot come to the IIT, they can also listen the lectures of IIT professors. This is the Ask the Librarian interface. This is our research publication management. Anybody can see what is the contribution of IIT Delhi or what are the citation or H-index. Scopus APIs are free. Even if you are not subscribing to Scopus, still you can fetch the data from Scopus API for the contribution of your institution. And we are making judicious use of social networking. We are not sending any paper or letter to anyone. We have a specific IITD LibNet group. All the order, duty roster, everything is posted there. So it has become very easy for us. And we are offering different type of internship as offered in other countries. We have student interns like BTech or MTech student may join the library and he will be paid by the dean student and he may devote 1 or 2 hours to library services. So that way IIT Delhi is able to help those needy students. Their scholarship is there but they don't have money for food or for staying in the hostel. So this is how the IIT Delhi is helping. And we have summer winter internship students are coming to us. They are also coming for 1 month or even from Pondicherry University as well came to us for like that is part of their curriculum. But we also have regular paid internship where we are paying 20,000 to students. So we are making good use of all these things and we have a interns network as well. We are feeling connected. And we are doing publicity through different medium, through institute website or different publications and our news and press releases. Then we are also sharing the achievement circulars through our circular mails. And we have other apps as well through which we are trying to. And apart from this, we have like collaboration with foreign institutions as well. Like we have MOUs with other great institutions. So we are just putting some library component as well. So they can come to us, we can also go to them. So just before the COVID, I was with University College London. So we can see their functions, we can adopt some of the good services. So, but still we are not able to make use of robots or much of the AI in IIT Delhi, but we are trying to explore. And like these are some of the things which are happening with the help of artificial intelligence. And I have to rush through because the time is up. So not in India, but people are also trying to make use of blockchain technology, or there is a lot of application of Internet of Things or Library 4.0 for augmented reality tool. And this is the library which is completely robotic. This is a recent library in North Carolina, Hunt Library, where there is no involvement of human beings. You are just putting requests through robot and robot is going to the shelf. It's a huge building and it is bringing to you book in just 5 minutes. In the same way, you are returning the book. This is the new building. This is not an old one. Okay, there was a SLA conference this year only. So some of the people visited as well. You can see the videos. So we are trying to like develop the library as a third collaborative place, means third important place after your home and your office. So the role of librarian in mapping and maximizing and helping the institution in visibility or impact of research is very important. So you can help your faculty member to create profile on different these sites. That way their visibility will increase. And you can create your website, you can have ID on ORCID or Vidwan or Mendeley or Publons or Academia, or you can also link your website with Google Analytics so that you can have details who is visiting your site, from where your site is being visited. You can create your Google Scholar profile, ResearchGate. You can upload some of the slides on SlideShare if you want to share your experiences. LinkedIn can also be used as a really good professional network, and Figshare can help you explore your research work of institution. Then there is a site Kudos which can link your all the important social networking site. So if you have your profile on all these websites, even if you are not a celebrity, still you can get a very good hit on Google. Like if you will type Nabi Hassan, still there will be some hit on page 1 from me. Although I'm not doing anything, but I have like created my profile and I have make my things visible. So instead of using Excel, now people are using data visualization tool for presenting their research, okay, or writing the paper. So if you are able to understand these things and if you are able to help your faculty or research scholar this way, definitely your importance will increase. And citations are very important for a research institution. As a library professional, you should be able to understand that these are some of the ways which can help you improve the citations. So, of course, we cannot cover anything, but if you want to keep yourself updated, there are various sites which help you update your library science knowledge. Some of the examples have been given here. And this is the new interpretation of our original 5 laws of library science in e-resources environment. And the James Rettig has also added that every reader has freedom. Like even if you are not coming to the library, still you can read the library content on sofa, on bed, or maybe on in swimming pool as well. So these are some of the innovative services like the West Bengal government started this library on tram or library on board. So these are known as innovative services. You are doing something differently. You are not doing different work, but you are doing differently. That is why you are different. Like this lady from IIT Ropar, she started open air free library during COVID with these kids from her expenses. And these some of the important women or other people provided really great services during COVID, and they got the attention of Prime Minister as well. So just 2 slides, sir. So why libraries and librarians are still extremely important, although I have explained, but not everything is available on internet, or digital library are not the internet, or library are not just books. So there is a need of libraries and librarians as well. So this is an important WhatsApp chat during between a girl who think I am very smart, but her father is smarter than her. So she says, "Dad, I have fallen in love with a boy who is so cute. He is so far away from me. I am in IIT Delhi. He is in MIT USA. We became friends on Facebook. Talk on WhatsApp, finally saw each other on Skype. He proposed me on Google Duo. So I need your blessing, Papa." Okay, the dad who is a smart father or a smart librarian says, okay, I suggest you to get married on Twitter, have fun on Tango, get your kids from eBay, deliver them through Dropbox, and yes, if you get tired of him, beta, sell him on OLX. So you can survive only if you are a smart librarian. If your kids are smart, you should be smarter enough to handle their queries. So saying that librarians are obsolete now because we have the internet is like saying doctors are obsolete now as we have the telemedicine. The reason I have already explained in my inaugural address. So smart librarians are going to survive with smart services. I have taken content from different resources, so I would like to acknowledge all those resources. Feel like a tiger, not like a cat. Thank you.